Hi, you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. In the last couple of days I got some emails and comments on my YouTube videos asking me if I could explain how to create metallic sounding patches like cymbals, hi-hats or metallic pads. And you could use frequency modulation synthesis for that, but today let's try to do the same thing on a subtractive synth. Here we go. Okay, so in the 80s, Roland issued the TB-808, which was a drum computer which sported a realistic cymbal sound, though it was purely analog. And the way they achieved this was setting up 6 square oscillators with random tunings, and they applied a high-pass filter to the high notes and a low-pass filter to the low notes. And the result was that a cymbal sound you perhaps know. And so today let's try that on Yamaha EX5. I chose this synthesizer because it has 4 oscillators per patch, and also you can apply filters to each individual oscillator. So that's what we'll need. Now let's begin. I've already entered the editor for the patch, and let's go to the oscillator page. And at the moment it's the piano, but let's choose a square wave. And that is number 253 for all of you owning an EX5. And all other synthesizer users should dial in square waves. So let's listen to this now. That's a square wave. Okay, so now the recipe says tune this to apply random tuning to your oscillators. And so let's go with maybe like this. Okay, and some random fine tuning. And also the micro tuning here should be random, so listen to this again. All right. So now let's go to the filter page and let's turn off 3 of the oscillators and just work on the first one. So they say for the higher frequencies, use a high-pass filter. So this is the highest frequency, so we'll use a high-pass filter here. And here it is. And you can see we can now choose 2 different filters to work on this oscillator, but we'll choose 2 high-pass filters. We'll add some resonance, and now we'll dial down the envelope emphasis, or the filter envelope on this. So there's no envelope happening. And let's dial down the frequency. Alright, that already sounds quite metallic. So now let's go and continue on the second oscillator. So I'll press the second oscillator here, and let's turn that one on. And let's do the same thing. Apply a high-pass filter. And once again, dial down the envelope depth and adjust the frequency, and also add some resonance. So here we go. Let's choose, for example, 215, and maybe. So let's listen. All right, and now let's work on the lower frequencies. And they say add a low-pass filter. But in preparing this video, I found out that using a bandpass filter on the EX5 is the better option. So here I'll change the filter from low pass filter to bandpass filter, BPF, and do the same thing here. Or add a high pass filter, another one. Once again, some filter resonance and no envelope depth. So on the Sans page, dial down the envelope depth to 0, and here we go. So now let's lower the frequency of those two filters. Like this. And now for the last oscillator, the same thing basically. Turn it on, then choose a bandpass filter and a high pass filter, like this, and add some filter resonance, but not too much, and then adjust the frequency to your liking. So let's dial this down. Alright, I forgot to turn off the envelope curve, the envelope depth for the filter. Let's change that. Okay, so let's dial this up. Okay, let's leave it like this. And now what you want to do is to work on the amplitude envelope. So on the higher frequencies, we want a fast decay and a fast release. So let's turn off all the other oscillators once again. And now I'm working on the first oscillator. And you can see we've got our amplitude envelope curve here. And now, yeah, let's make it happen so that we have a fast attack and quickly go down to 0 on the volume. And so let's enter some values here. Like this, this, and this. And yeah, let's go down to about half of the volume. And then half of that. And then, yeah, maybe 0, and so now we've got this. Okay, now on the second oscillator, which is one of the higher frequencies, we do the same again, so the same values on the amplitude. So let's half, half, and once again half of that, and the same for the release phase. Let's turn that on. Okay, and now the two deeper notes of lower frequency oscillators should ring out a little bit longer, like on a cymbal. If you hit it, it will be bright in the beginning and will get duller towards the end of the sound. So let's try to simulate the same thing by entering higher values here on the attack, release, and decay time. Like this, or maybe this even. So let's enter also higher values here. Alright, and the same thing on the last oscillator. Okay, now I lost track. Okay, let's listen to this. Yeah, quite convincing. If I had two more oscillators like on the TB808, this would sound even better. On the EX5 you can circumvent this by creating two of these patches and then grouping them into a performance. But for the sake of the length of this video, I'll stop here. And now you can start adjusting the sound of your cymbal by adjusting the pitch or adjusting the mix of the volume. So if you want to emphasize the low end, you can just adjust the volume level of each oscillator until it fits your needs. Yeah, and yeah, if you adjust the amplitude envelopes so they have a long attack phase, then you can create beautiful metallic sounding pads, and that's what I'll do off screen now, and I'll come back with the result to you later. Okay, I'm back, and yeah, I've created the performance. This means I've combined two patches. Let's take a closer look at this. You see, there's the patch I just created is the first one, and the second one is a lo-fi brass. It's just a bunch of saw waves filtered and then put through a low resolution filter. And yeah, I've also adjusted the reverb and the brightness a little bit, so there's a low pass filter on top of all of this. And yeah, let's listen to the result. It sounds quite huge. Here it is. Yeah, of course you can adjust this to your liking, and but that's the basic principle. Have a lot of square waves, detune them, apply a high pass filter and a band pass filter, and then move them around until you've got the sound you like. Yeah, and that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting and useful, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. And also, in the last week or so, I released a new music video. I worked with people all over the world on this, and currently it's sitting at 300 or 400 views, which is kind of sad. So if you wouldn't mind, it's linked here or in this video's description. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.